Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a little Bourbon Bites. Just wanted to cover a little topic that I saw today on the old Google search and that, just on the bus, on the way to do my thing, and it's like I stumbled across this wonderful, wonderful headline. Star Wars 9. Yeah, it's a Star Wars one. I apologize in advance. Rey is the female good size of the Force. Prepare for backlash. Oh my God, seriously, do we have to do this like every time? Okay, first off, I'm not going to go into why I don't like the new Star Wars. Hey, if you guys want me to, then just drop a couple of comments on that and I will go into my personal view of why I don't like the new Star Wars films. But then again, you probably heard it all before. And to be honest with you, I agree with a lot of that has been said before me. I really do. I don't like anything to do with the new Star Wars. I would rather watch a dumpster on fire. It would be way more entertaining. But, like the glutton for punishment I am, I keep an eye on it. I like to see what's going on, what the new developments are going to be. And as much as I hate the new Star Wars, yes, I've seen them. Of course I've seen them. How could I say I don't like them unless I've seen them? It makes sense, yeah? But this pontification of female over male, especially in the Star Wars universe, to myself, does not make any sense. Just watch this clip. This is Yoda, one of the greatest Jedi ever. This is him explaining the Force.
Size matters not. Look at me. Judge me by my size, do you? And where you should not. For my ally is the Force. And a powerful ally it is. Life creates it. Makes it grow. Its energy surrounds us. And binds us. Luminous beings are we, not this crude matter. You must feel the Force around you. Here, between you, me, the tree, the rock, everywhere. Yes, even between the land and the ship.
Okay, now look at that. How beautiful is that? How straight to the point is that? How wonderful and mystifying is that? It's absolutely amazing. And that, when he says to Luke, we are all luminous beings, he's including everyone, male and female. To get to this article, and I'll read you a few key points in that. Is Rey the salvation of the Force? Does she represent the female balance against the patriarchy of Palpatine, Kylo Ren, the Jedi, and even Luke? Is this the Star Wars final message? Okay, first off, my personal point of view is, first off, I want to address one thing right now. Some people are going to say, there's politics and all things, and I agree with you. Even in entertainment, there is politics in that. You're talking to a guy who's watched Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, almost any type of sci-fi in the world. I will eat that with a spoon. Give it to me. The more sci-fi, the better. And it's the politics. Yes, there is, but it ain't real world trying to send a message politics. Okay, let's just put it this way. When I was watching Battlestar Galactica, one of my favourite sci-fis of all time, so much so I've even got like a big-ass tattoo of a viper on me. I'm not messing. It was like the politics of watching that was like Gaius Baltar versus like the previous president and that, trying to get a position while trying to battle with the Cylons, seeing their motivation. There you go. There's your politics. It's in-world politics. So yes, when people say there's politics and everything, yes, there is to a degree. It's fictional, escapist politics. Now, if you're going to try and insert a gender viewpoint, or let's call it a gender agenda. Only because it rhymes. We'll call it a gender agenda. Okay, first off, when it comes to Star Wars, do I think there should be any real world politics in that? No, it deals with space wizards. That's all you need to say, is space wizards. Now, has there been some absolutely kick-ass female characters in Star Wars? Yes. Princess Leia went on to be General Leia. It's there. But what irritates me is that ever since Disney took over, and I'm not blaming Disney per se, but this seems to be the timeline. If anyone wants to correct me, please do, because I will say this right now. I know the films, every single one of them, and I know there are a few stories, from the expanded universe and that, as a casual glance. I know there's some major players in that. I mean, hell, I know there's a character called Mara Jade who, in the expanded universe, ended up marrying Luke Skywalker. God, I always wanted to see a film with her, because she sounded absolutely badass. You know, it's one of those. First off, if they had have gone with the expanded universe, there would have been, in my particular view, a plethora of amazing female Jedi and female Sith, because that's something that we haven't seen on screen yet. Female Sith. That would have been absolutely fantastic to see, and I would have been all for that. But reading this article, it's like, why does there need to be a gender balance in the Force? The Force applies to all things. If anything, the Force is beyond gender because it binds all living things. It's like Yoda says, it helps us grow. And yeah, there's some people more sensitive to it than others. That's what makes a Jedi, or a Sith, a Sith. But it's a tool. For lack of a better description, it's a tool. It can either be used for good or it can be used for bad. It doesn't mean that's going to be used more by a particular gender, better or worse. That doesn't make any sense to me. If you're going to be a bad Force user, you could be a bad female Force user, or you could be a bad male Force user. And if you're going to be a Jedi, you could be a good male Jedi, and you can be you can be a good female Jedi. Sorry, I'm getting myself mixed up, but this is so silly to me. Okay, but in the article it says, Brian boldly says, what is the balance is less about dark side and the light side of the Force and more about, or at least equality, about gender equality of the Force. In today's culture, there can't truly be a balance within a male-dominated power structure. There has to be a female power narrative as well. Right, okay, so you're saying that there needs to be an equal Force within the film representation of Star Wars. Right, because it reflects on the real world of the power structures of men. Okay, so if I was to mention Aliens, Kill Bill, Terminator, all major franchises in the real world next to Star Wars, which have got majorly powerful female leads, which counteracts the balance that you're talking about within society. So are you saying that females don't have good, strong role models? Because in my particular view, I would absolutely and utterly disagree with you. I really would, because if you wanted me to reel off some of the most amazing female characters right now, I could. From Star Trek the original series, Next Generation, Voyager, DS9, Stargate, Battlestar Galactica, the list is pretty endless. These women have been around for years, and you know what? I'm going to plant my flag here. I'm going to say some of the female characters that we have had are a million times better than Rey. I'm sorry, but I mean, there's other videos out there that have probably gone extensively into why Rey sucks, and she does. I'm really sorry, but when I went to see The Force Awakens, I was like a kid at Christmas. I dragged my girlfriend there. It was like, oh my god, we made a big night out of it because it was Star Wars. Star Wars was back. Oh my god, send Moses down from the mountain and hallelujah, Star Wars is back. You know what I'm saying? That's I think the level of excitement I had. And I watched it and I came out the cinema confused. Now everybody else would probably say, oh, you're just a misogynist, hater of women and that. It's like, yeah, you keep talking like that. If it makes you feel good, it's fine. But in my view, when I came out of that cinema, I was really, really confused. And I said to me missus, I said, babe, did we just watch A New Hope? And I'm pretty sure we did. Fast forward to, oh god, The Last Jedi. Oh god, the less time I spend on that particular film, the better. But every single female character in that was nigh on boring, preachy, pontificating. That took me out of the Star Wars universe. And to me, in my personal humble opinion, this is what is dividing the fan base. You've got your fans, and then you got like the new fans who want a message. Now, I've got to give props to the old fans because they're the ones who kept the flame going, and those old fans are male and female. I want to make that right clear right now. Those old school fans were male and female, and they kept the Star Wars torch burning. They kept the love alive. And then we get this new set of fans that are saying, "Oh, we want this in it," or "We would like this representation." It's like, why? Why do you want this? Look, either go and watch the nice Space Wizard story and enjoy the action scenes with a little bit of hope and escapism from the real world, which is not the greatest place to be sometimes. That is the essence of escapism. Now, to me, this is what is destroying the Star Wars fandom. It's the agenda. It's the absolute agenda that is being pushed behind this. I mean, oh god, this article even references, this is the Express. I mean, I don't know why I'm giving it me time of day, but I thought it's something I should talk about. Well, it actually goes on to say, case in point, Avengers Endgame, when the female characters band together in the final fight sequence and shift the outcome of the battle. That's what you want to use as an example. Again, I'm going to plant my flag right here. Every single female character in the Marvel Universe has been absolutely kick-ass, except Captain Marvel. Gonna plant my flag there. She sucked. But every single female character in the Marvel Universe were human and relatable. They were flawed. They had divided loyalty at times. They weren't always amazing. They made mistakes. That is what we love about them. And that part in Avengers Endgame, and that me and Custard, we're going to talk about that at some point anyway, but it was so forced and so cringy. Again, it took me out of that battle scene, like, you know what this had been building up to for 22, 23 films. It took me out for the second. Just for a little second. I thought it was in there to appease certain types of people and that, and it's one of those, it lasted 10 seconds, if that maybe, and you just got on with the rest of the film. But again, even in this article, it just makes no sense. I mean, honestly, ever since Star Wars took this route, Star Wars has made no sense, and I'll delve a little bit into why it didn't make no sense to me. Because the first big one, they still call it the Resistance after they've won. Because this is supposed to take place after the Return of the Jedi, right? So they've won. There is no Empire. So who the hell are they resisting? Why are they still called the Resistance? Doesn't make much sense to me. Okay. Secondly, the New Order. The New Order of what? The New Order of what? Because as much as you made the prequels, you saw Palpatine's rise to power, you saw his deviousness, his deceitfulness, his making of the clone army, pulling strings behind the scenes, and that which led to him being the grand Big Mac Daddy that the universe feared. That's why you needed the Resistance then. It makes sense. And Leia was part of that Resistance, and she was badass. It makes sense. Then fast forward now, it's like you've got Rey abandoned on a planet, and we thought there was going to be some big huge lead up that she was going to have some familial ties to some of the great legacy characters. Didn't happen. Expectation subversion, which is something Hollywood really needs to drop, or if they are going to pursue it, make sure they do it right. Hashtag Infinity War, that was amazing. But anyway, Star Wars right now is not making any sense, even to the hardcore fans, the old school fans, and to the new fans, because it's here, there, and everywhere. But at the same time, they're using Rey as some weird, strange poster girl for empowerment. Now, me, I've got little girls myself. I do. And if I was going to give them heroines or people to look up to, it would not be Rey, because she's too perfect. Now, there's been male characters in that I've seen before, which are too perfect, and you know what? They're not likable. I don't want to watch them. I mean, case in point, let's keep it Star Wars related. We saw Luke fail. We saw him get his hand chopped off. We saw him basically get called a divvy or an idiot by, Grandmaster Flash Darth Vader himself, who laughed at him as, he was getting his ass kicked, figuratively speaking, of course, because Darth Vader not really one to laugh too much. But Rey is just so goddamn perfect, and if this is going to be your poster girl, I think you're giving people who want this agenda a bad poster girl. I really do. I really, really do. Now, I'm going to tag in 2 videos and that, which in the description. It's going to be the 25 best female characters. It's going to be famous female Sith Lords from Star Wars, because the people who made these videos, shout out to them, because I'm using your videos. Thank you for making these videos. It really helped me. There are amazing, or there were amazing female characters, good and bad, in the expanded universe. And I think one of Disney's biggest mistakes was not acknowledging the expanded universe, because they would have had so many amazing, wonderful stories to tell. We're using amazing female characters, but honest to God, the Force does not need a male-female balance. It needs a good and it needs a bad balance. That is what affects the galaxy in general. We've seen what happens when the bad side of the Force, i.e. the prequels and the initial originals, when a bad Force user is in charge. Senator Palpatine. Now, he was not bad because he had a penis. He was bad because he had bad motivation. Rey is not good because she is female. She is good. Actually, let's go into that. Why is Rey good? I mean, think about it. Anybody else, any other character that we get a look at, or the usual trope or trend is, you've got an abandoned, let's really focus on that abandoned character who's been forced to grow up with no help or assistance from anyone, and they get told you're all powerful, you're wonderful this, and there's no bitterness, there's no resentment, there's no I'm gonna do this with my new powers and be a bit naughty. That would have been fun. That would have been amazingly fun to see Rey, use force powers for bad. But again, why in the original trilogy give us Luke training for 3 solid films to be a Jedi, and then with Rey, nothing. She's just perfect. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Now, the only way I think that the writers, directors, Disney can pull the new Star Wars back into something resembling something good is to, A, get rid of the agenda. Just get rid of it, because agendas ruin most things, if I'm honest. It doesn't matter what agenda it is. But you need to focus back on telling excellent stories using the space wizards. That's what Star Wars is, space wizards. It's a fun space wizard thing, but you got your space wizards like Darth Vader, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Luke Skywalker, Rey, and then at the same time you've got like fantasy wizards, Gandalf. Let's be honest with you, it's Lord of the Rings in space, or vice versa, whatever. I probably pissed off like both sets of fans there, but you get the idea. Now, the reason why I made this video is that I just think this article is driving a wedge, maybe not even between fans of Star Wars themselves, but it's driving a wedge between what people want to go and see and what not want to go see. What do you want to see? Do you want to go and see an epic, brilliant, glorious space adventure, or do you want to get something that's just got undertones of an agenda where it's like further dividing society? And that, because I don't honestly believe, me personally, men are any worse than women, or women are any worse than men. We're both equal in our goodness, and we are both equal in our badness. So hey, at least we're equal somewhere, Well, that's just my view. Leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, all that different wonderfulness and that. Let me know what you think, and till then, I would say may the force be with you and that, but pray for sanity, maybe. Nah, see, I think I'm going to have somebody else. I'll see you later. Bye.